Ever imagine a point where pure energy, no massive star required, could just spontaneously become a black hole? Or a place where a star is literally running away from its entire galaxy at millions of miles an hour? What if time itself had a crystal structure, a state of matter that repeats through the fourth dimension? And what about the vast, vast majority of life and information on Earth that we still can't even see or understand? Forget what you think you know, because science is wilder than fiction, and today we're diving deep into some of the most mind-bending did you know moments that even I had to double-check. Let's kick things off with something straight out of a sci-fi movie, but totally grounded in theoretical physics. 1. The Kugelblitz, when light becomes a black hole. Okay, so imagine you've got a super powerful laser, like ridiculously powerful. Now, what if you focused all that light, all that pure electromagnetic energy, into a tiny, tiny spot in space? We're not talking about a star collapsing here or some massive object shrinking down. We're talking about pure energy being so concentrated that its own gravity warps space-time enough to form an event horizon. That, my friends, is the concept of a Kugelblitz. This theoretical object, whose name literally means ball lightning in German, was first proposed by physicist John Archibald Wheeler back in the 1950s. The idea is simple in concept, but mind-blowingly complex in implication. If enough electromagnetic radiation, like photons of light, are packed into a small enough region, their combined mass energy, thanks to Einstein's E=mc², would create such a strong gravitational field that it would collapse into a black hole. That, my friends, is the concept of a Kugelblitz. This theoretical object, whose name literally means ball lightning in German, was first proposed by physicist John Archibald Wheeler back in the 1950s. The idea is simple in concept, but mind-blowingly complex in implication. If enough electromagnetic radiation, like photons of light, are packed into a small enough region, their combined mass energy, thanks to Einstein's E=mc², would create such a strong gravitational field that it would collapse into a black hole. That, my friends, is the concept of a Kugelblitz. This theoretical object, whose name literally means ball lightning in German, was first proposed by physicist John Archibald Wheeler back in the 1950s. The idea is simple in concept, but mind-blowingly complex in implication. If enough electromagnetic radiation, like photons of light, are packed into a small enough region, their combined mass energy, thanks to Einstein's E=mc², would create such a strong gravitational field that it would collapse into a black hole. Picture it, a black hole made entirely out of light. Now, before you go trying this with your living room laser pointer, the energy levels required are absolutely insane. We're talking about energies far beyond anything we can currently produce, even in our most powerful particle accelerators. For context, to create a Kugelblitz black hole with the mass of, say, a small asteroid, you'd need to concentrate the energy output of the entire sun for millions of years into a spot smaller than an atom. So yeah, not happening anytime soon in your garage. But the mere possibility is fascinating because it totally flips our usual understanding of black holes on its head. It's not just massive stars that can become these cosmic vacuum cleaners. Pure, unadulterated energy could theoretically do the trick too. It challenges our perceptions of what matter truly means at its most fundamental level and how it interacts with gravity. It shows us that in the universe, the line between energy and matter is a lot blurrier than we might think. And the potential for new exotic phenomena is always out there, waiting for physics to catch up. Seriously, a black hole made of light? That's just wild. Moving from theoretical physics to the very real, yet largely invisible world of biology. 2. Biological dark matter, the unseen majority of life on Earth. We talk a lot about the vastness of space and all the cosmic mysteries out there. But what if I told you there's an equally vast, mysterious dark matter right here on Earth, living among us? No, I'm not talking about aliens hidden in plain sight, though that would be cool. I'm talking about biological dark matter, a term scientists use to describe the immense number of microbial life forms, bacteria, archaea, and viruses that we know exist, but we can't actually grow or study in a lab. Think about it. For decades, our understanding of microbes came from what we could culture in a petri dish. But here's the kicker. we've learned that only a tiny fraction, like way less than 1% of all microorganisms in any given environment, can actually be grown under standard lab conditions. The rest, they just refuse to cooperate. They have incredibly specific needs, or they live in complex symbiotic relationships, or they're just super sensitive to changes in their environment. This means there are literally billions of species out there, in your gut, in the soil, in the deepest oceans, in the air you breathe, that we have no idea about. We know they exist because we can extract their DNA directly from environmental samples, a process called metagenomics. When we sequence this environmental DNA, we find genetic blueprints that don't match anything we've ever seen before. It's like finding a library full of books written in languages no one has ever translated. This biological dark matter holds untold secrets. It could be responsible for entirely new metabolic pathways, undiscovered enzymes, novel antibiotics, or even completely unknown forms of life that defy our current classifications. Researchers are now developing incredibly sophisticated techniques to try and coax these mystery microbes into revealing themselves, using microfluidics, single-cell genomics, and advanced computational biology. Understanding this unseen majority isn't just about curiosity, it's crucial for everything from medicine to agriculture to environmental health. Every time we sequence a new bit of dark matter DNA, it's like opening a new chapter in Earth's incredibly diverse and still largely unwritten book of life. And speaking of unknown information encoded in life, let's zoom in even closer to our very own genetic code. 3. Genetic dark matter, the hidden power of non-coding DNA. You've probably heard about the human genome, that incredible instruction manual for building a person. For a long time, scientists thought that most of our DNA was just junk. Yeah, you heard that right, junk DNA. Only about 1.5% of our genome actually codes for proteins, those workhorse molecules that do most of the heavy lifting in our cells. The rest, a whopping 98.5%, was considered evolutionary leftover, genetic clutter that didn't do anything important. This was our genetic dark matter. Well, turns out we were pretty wrong about that. We're still unraveling the mysteries of this vast non-coding DNA, but research over the last couple of decades has completely transformed our understanding. This junk isn't junk at all. It's a bustling, intricate control panel. We now know that much of this non-coding DNA plays absolutely critical roles in regulating gene expression. It tells our genes when to turn on and off, how much protein to make, and where in the body to make it. Think of it like the conductor of a massive orchestra, telling each instrument precisely when and how to play. These non-coding regions include things like enhancers, promoters, silencers, and long non-coding RNAs, LNCRNAs, which don't make proteins themselves but act as crucial regulatory molecules. They can loop around, physically bringing distant parts of the DNA closer together, influencing gene activity and shaping how our cells develop and function. What's even wilder is that many diseases, from cancer to heart disease to neurodevelopmental disorders, aren't just caused by mutations in protein-coding genes, but by subtle changes in these non-coding regulatory regions. A tiny tweak in a junk area can throw off the entire genetic orchestra, leading to serious health issues. So, the next time you hear about DNA, remember that the real action, the truly mind-bending complexity, isn't just in the genes that make proteins. It's in the vast, still largely mysterious genetic dark matter, the silent majority of our genome that orchestrates everything, proving that sometimes the most important information isn't always the most obvious. We're still at the very beginning of understanding this incredible genetic landscape, and it's truly a frontier of discovery. Now, let's leave the microscopic world and gaze up at the vastness of space, where stars do some truly bizarre things. 4. Hypervelocity stars, the universe's cosmic runaways. You know how stars are typically born in big groups in stellar nurseries, and they hang out in galaxies orbiting peacefully? Well, some stars just can't stand still. Get this, there are stars out there called hypervelocity stars, and they are literally speeding out of their home galaxies at millions of miles per hour, fast enough to completely escape the gravitational pull of their entire galaxy. We're talking speeds up to 1,000 kilometers per second, or over 2 million miles per hour. That's absurd. The discovery of these cosmic runaways began in the early 2000s, and since then, astronomers had found dozens of them, mostly hurtling out of the Milky Way. So, what could possibly give a star such an incredible kick? The leading theory, and it's a dramatic one, points to the supermassive black hole at the center of our galaxy, Sagittarius A star. Imagine a binary star system, two stars orbiting each other, minding their own business. If this binary system gets too close to a supermassive black hole, the black hole's immense gravity can actually tear the system apart. One star gets captured by the black hole, often spiraling into it or being flung into a tight orbit. But its companion? The black hole slingshots it away, launching
like a cosmic pebble out of a giant gravitational slingshot, sending it rocketing out of the galaxy at escape velocity. It's like a cosmic breakup where one star goes to the dark side and the other gets yeeted into interstellar space. These hypervelocity stars are incredible natural probes. As they travel through the galactic halo, they give us clues about the distribution of dark matter, that other kind of dark matter, in the outer reaches of our galaxy. They also tell us about the chaotic environment around supermassive black holes. Finding these stars involves incredibly precise measurements of their speed and trajectory using advanced telescopes. It's a reminder that even the most seemingly stable structures in the universe, like galaxies, are home to incredibly violent and dynamic events that can send entire suns on a one-way trip to nowhere. Truly the universe's most dramatic exit strategy. And finally, let's dive into something that still blows my mind every time I think about it, a concept that fundamentally challenges our understanding of what matter can be. 5. Time crystals, when matter repeats in time, not just space. Okay, prepare for your brain to do a little flip. You know how regular crystals, like a diamond or a snowflake, have atoms arranged in a repeating pattern in space? They have a crystal lattice that repeats itself over and over again. Makes sense, right? Well, what if I told you there's a new phase of matter, a time crystal, that not only repeats in space, but also repeats itself periodically in time? Yes, seriously. This isn't science fiction anymore. Time crystals were first experimentally realized in 2016 and 2017. The idea behind time crystals goes back to 2012, when Nobel laureate Frank Wilczek theorized them. He imagined a system that, even in its lowest energy state, would exhibit persistent, repeating motion, essentially a perpetual motion machine at the quantum level. This defies our classical understanding of physics, where things in their lowest energy state are supposed to be static and stable. A time crystal literally breaks time translation symmetry, meaning its state changes over time even without any external energy input. It's like a perpetually ticking clock that never runs down. In the lab, scientists managed to create these incredible structures using systems of entangled ions, charged atoms, or defects in diamonds. They would hit these systems with precisely timed laser pulses, and instead of just settling into a static state, the system would exhibit a repeating pattern of magnetization or entanglement, but at a frequency different from the driving force, typically exactly half the frequency. This autonomous, internal rhythm is the key. It's not just vibrating in response to an external push, it's got its own intrinsic repeating temporal pattern. What does this mean? It opens up entirely new avenues for understanding matter and potentially developing future technologies. Imagine ultra-precise quantum sensors, or even new types of quantum memory for quantum computers that are incredibly stable because they're inherently
protected from interference. The existence of time crystals shows us that our understanding of what constitutes a state of matter is still evolving, and that the quantum world continues to surprise us with phenomena that seem utterly impossible from a classical perspective. It's proof that the universe still has so many fundamental secrets to reveal, and sometimes those secrets are literally ticking right in front of us. And there you have it, folks. 5 mind-bending facts that challenge everything you thought you knew about physics, biology, genetics, and astronomy. From light that becomes a black hole, to the unseen majority of life on Earth, to stars making dramatic galactic escapes, and matter that ticks like a clock, the universe is a truly wild and wonderful place. It's a constant reminder that the more we discover, the more we realize how much more there is to learn. Keep those curious minds buzzing, and I'll catch you in the next one.